Sai Ram. If you search the internet for the name Vemu Mukunda, you will come across a personality who has contributed immensely to the field of music. Vemu Mukunda is the founder of what we call the Nada Brahma system, where the emphasis is not just on the creative aspect of music, but also on the curative aspect of music. Right from the 1960s, Vemu Mukunda was almost obsessed with the magical impact and effect, the miraculous effect that sound has on the physical and metaphysical body. And therefore, Vemu Mukunda, apart from enthralling audiences all around Europe and in many parts of the world with his beautiful music that he played on the Veena. Veena is an instrument that is particularly Indian, in that also it is a South Indian instrument. He has intensively and extensively researched music therapy, and many of his papers appear in especially German publications. You can find them on the internet even now. Not many videos of his exist because he passed away in the year 2000 when the internet had not yet exploded. If you dig a little deeper, you will come to know that Vemu Mukunda was on his way to actually become a very successful and wonderful nuclear physicist. What is it that made him change his life's path from nuclear physics to playing the Veena? No points for guessing the main reason, because otherwise his story wouldn't have figured on this channel. Search through the archives of the Sanatana Sarathi, the monthly magazine that Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba began, and you will find there also Vemu Mukunda's name appearing in multiple editions. In fact, in the 1983 International Sathya Sai Conference, which was held in Rome, Italy, he was one of the main performing artists. What was this incident that made Vemu Mukunda change the direction of his life from being a nuclear physicist to a Veena player? That incident also gives us insights and tips as to how we should also go about understanding the purpose and goal of our lives. We all know the ultimate goal of our life, that is to achieve Swami. But how do I achieve? What is the path that I should take? What is the path that is meant for me? Well, this experience and story has all those answers. From a young age itself, Vemu Mukunda learned the Veena from Vidwan Chandrasekharaya. Vidwan Chandrasekharaya is the grandson of the legendary Veena Sheshanna, who had played in the royal courts at Mysore. In fact, you can learn more about Veena Sheshanna from his Wikipedia page. Vemu Mukunda was staying in London, where half the time he would spend on the Veena and other half of his time he would spend in nuclear physics research. One day, one of his friends called him and asked him whether he could repair a broken Veena that was there at his place. Vemu Mukunda agreed and took the Veena along with him. Now the friends along with whom he was travelling told him that they had to make a stopover at one home. And in that home, bhajans were being held. Now Vemu Mukunda placed the Veena in one corner and he went and sat in the bhajans, and there he saw the photograph of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. And immediately he felt a kind of disgust and irritation. He felt, oh, this person, Why? Because his parents had been followers of the Sai Baba of Shirdi Sai Baba, and they felt that Sathya Sai Baba was a duplicate, a person who was trying to imitate Shirdi Baba, and they didn't like that, and that is what had got transmitted even to Vemu Mukunda, and therefore he felt that first kind of aversion from Swami. But being a musician, he enjoyed the bhajans. He sat for the entire bhajan session, so much so that towards the end of the bhajan session, he was almost in a trance, enjoying the bhajans completely. That is when one of the hosts got him a Veena and told, can you play the Veena? Obviously, they might have heard that he is a good Veena player. And without even opening his eyes, lost in the trance, he took and began to play the Veena. He played two songs which are originally in different languages. Interestingly, both those songs had the same meaning. Praising God, saying, "You are the ultimate one, you are the one who is the greatest." It was after playing these two songs that Vemu Mukunda realized that the Veena that had been given to him was the Veena that he himself had brought. The hosts had assumed that that was his Veena and had given him to play, not knowing that this was a broken Veena of his friend. He was simply stunned as to how he could play such good music which kept the entire audience spellbound with a broken Veena. Because after that realization, when he tried to play the Veena, he couldn't produce even one proper note because the Veena was in such a bad condition. Everyone applauded and he did not know what had happened. Each and every person there came and told him that this is the power of Sai, this is the grace of Swami, this is the blessings of Sathya Sai. And it was too much for him to digest. Anyway, at the same time, it was too much for him to even let go of it, because what has happened is indeed miraculous. So he went back home constantly thinking of the Sathya Sai, Sathya Sai. And dear brothers and sisters, when Swami decides to enter your life, you can't stop at all, He will enter your life, he will enter your heart. Wherever Vemu Mukunda went and played the Veena after that, somehow or the other, there would be somebody who would come and talk to him about Swami, show him a photograph about Swami and bring up something about Swami. He began to wonder, what is this? This guy is following me everywhere. Who is this person? Oh my God, he's chasing me. Now, he began to observe something phenomenal happening in his own Veena playing. After the arrival of Swami into his life, he began to pick up very, very complicated pieces and he began to compose things which he had never done before. He seemed to have got an amazing ability that he himself was not aware existed within him. It was so magical that he began to wonder whether he should pursue Veena full time. Added to this was his feeling that nuclear physics was being used for creating atomic weapons and bombs and other things that created so much of misery and pain in the world. And he was being a researcher in that field. That began to eat him from within. So much so that in his own words, he went into a depression. What am I doing? What is the use of my life? I am good for nothing. I am doing things that is going to destroy. He felt that he had only three choices that he could make. He wanted to, on one hand, run away and become a sannyasi, a renunciant, give up everything and focus on the inner growth. Or he could continue being the nuclear physicist that he was. Or he could take up playing the Veena full time, a professional Veena player. But he didn't know what to do. And therefore he did something that he had never imagined that he would do. He actually wrote a letter to Swami. He wrote a letter to Swami of how he was so depressed, he was so fed up with life and he did not know what to do. He wanted some guidance, he wanted to know which path he should take. And these are the three paths and options that are open before him. What should he do? It was only when he was trying to get the address of Prashanti Nilayam that somebody told him that Swami does not reply to all these letters. Swami doesn't reply. They said, no, not in the way you are expecting. You will not get a standard reply again in an envelope. But Swami will definitely give an answer. You definitely send the letter. And that is how he sent the letter to Swami. He had to leave to Paris for a concert on the Veena. See, that is what it is. His playing had become so good that now he was being called everywhere to perform in concerts across Europe. That is a practical reason also to consider making Veena playing as your profession. But he had doubts. When he returned back from Paris to London, he felt that he should visit the home where he had his first miraculous experience playing on that broken Veena. When he went to that home, to his utter amazement, the host comes and gifts him a photograph and tells, this photograph was left by a stranger when he came to our house bhajans. And he said that this must be given to Vemu Mukunda. We had no idea how we would reach it to you, but now you yourself have come. And they gave him that photograph. Imagine his delight and joy and thrill when he realized that Swami was giving him a clear indication. What is the chance of getting a photograph of Swami playing the Veena? He decided that very moment that he knew what was the purpose of his life. He broke down and began to sob uncontrollably. He cried and cried and cried, sweet tears of joy and gratitude. And that moment he decided, goodbye nuclear physics, goodbye sannyasa, I am here to play the Veena. That is how he became a Veena virtuoso, and getting to know of his story, even his parents began to develop reverence and respect for Swami. In fact, in 1973, they told Vemu Mukunda, come over to India, have Swami's darshan, he is in Bangalore only where we are. Vemu Mukunda wanted to desperately see Swami, who had given him everything in life, a direction in life, a meaning for life, a purpose in his life. But he had this hesitation because he thought, what if Swami doesn't look at me? What if Swami doesn't speak to me? Because he had heard of all these experiences of different devotees from Swami. He knew it would not be as simple as him going and Swami talking to him. When he was in this hesitation, our dear Swami comes in his dream, and in his dream tells him, come to India. Come, calls him to India, and then opens the button of his shirt and applies vibhuti to his heart, to his chest. And that is why Vemu Mukunda travels all the way from London, lands in Bangalore, and in Bangalore, as soon as he lands, he immediately leaves for Vrindavan and goes there for darshan. He has a letter in his hand, and this is his first darshan of Swami. The gates open and Swami comes walking out. And as Swami comes near him during darshan, these were the olden days, he is just overwhelmed. He is dumbstruck. He is not able to speak anything. Swami comes close to him and yet he is not able to tell anything, speak anything. He is just sitting there as if he is a statue. Swami himself bends and takes the letter from his hand and walks away. He comes out of his daze or stupor only once Swami has gone into the gates and the gates have closed. It is then that Vemu Mukunda realizes that Swami took his letter. What a beautiful experience of darshan. What energy, what power. The next day again he comes for darshan. This time also he is dumbstruck. He is not able to speak. Out of compassion, Swami speaks. Swami tells him, go in for an interview. And when he goes in for the interview, Swami begins to tell him everything that had happened in his life. All the doubts, the confusion, the depression, the frustration, the irritation that he was going through in life. All the different thoughts that plagued him day and night, that didn't allow him to work during the day, that didn't allow him to sleep during the night. It was just an overwhelming experience. Vemu Mukunda realized that here is a being who is my antaryami, who knows me better than myself. Even as he felt this, Swami waves his hand, materializes vibhuti, opens the button of his shirt and massages his chest and heart, confirming that when I come to you and speak to you in your dream, rest assured it is me speaking. Swami materialized later a gold chain for him. Swami made him perform in Vrindavan. Swami also later took him along with him to Hyderabad where he performed. Vemu Mukunda had come to India to have one darshan. He ended up staying for 6 complete months, and those 6 months totally transformed him. That is what made him a Veena virtuoso. That is what made him dedicate his life for Swami and spirituality. Dear brothers and sisters, it is very common that we also get self-doubts. We wonder what our purpose in life is. Though there are many techniques and methods by which we can try to discover our purpose in life, I think the best way is the Vemu Mukunda way. And what is that? Ask Swami. We never ask Swami at all. We bring him into our life as the last resort. Let us make him the first resort. Because believe me, dear brothers and sisters, Swami knows what is best for us even better than what we know. Let us pray and pine and yearn and ask Swami, Swami, what is the purpose of my life? Please show me. Please shine the light. And He will. That has been my personal experience, and it's my prayer that it becomes your personal experience as well. Ask and it shall be answered. Swami is standing and waiting with his hand raised in Abhayasta, waiting to shower his grace and love on all of us. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.